Yo, DC's Arrowverse next week is due to begin their next big crossover, Crisis on Earth X. The storyline where supposedly Barry and Iris are about to get married, but their wedding is interrupted by invaders from Earth X, a world where, well, I won't ruin it. It looks to be quite a big crossover this year, so in honor of that, I've gone through the previous crossovers that the Arrowverse has had and ranked them for me. Now, I'm starting off with two honourable mentions. Ones that I'm not gonna be counting on this list. The first of the honourable mentions is the Arrow season 2 episodes, The Scientist and Three Ghosts. This one I don't necessarily count as a crossover, but because Barry Allen hasn't yet become the Flash. But this was the episode that kind of introduced Barry Allen, gave him his backstory, and kind of explained about him. And you do see him start to go at the very end of the two episodes, but yeah. It's an honourable mention here. And the other honourable mention is the Arrow Season 5 episode, Second Chances. The reason why I'm not counting this one is just because Flash is only on screen for about 2 seconds. Like, Oliver calls out Captain Singh goes, I'm going to need proof you're the Green Arrow. Calls up Barry, 2 seconds later, he's legit. Very well. But anyway, on to the actual the actual ranking. At the bottom of my ranking, my least favourite, which is still to say I still like it, is the Arrow Season 4 and Flash Season 2 crossover, Legends of Today and Legends of Yesterday. This isn't necessarily a bad crossover. It's quite fun, it's quite dramatic, it's got some good moments in there. The only reason why it's at the bottom of my list was because at this point we knew Legends of Tomorrow was coming, and upon looking back at this crossover episodes, it's basically just a setup episode for Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I mean, they already kind of started to set up White Canary and started to set up Firestorm and the others, so this one was basically just to get Hawkman and Hawkgirl into the fray and introduce them properly as characters, along with the main villain of the series, Vandal Savage. So yeah, the reason why it's at the bottom is because these two are pretty much just setup episodes, but they're still fun. One step up from that is the Flash Season 1 crossover episode, Flash vs. Arrow. Its counterpart is further up my list, and I do actually enjoy that one a bit more. The thing about this one is it's just really a question of who would win in a fight, Flash or the Green Arrow, and once again, it's got some good things in there. Some good parts, like Oliver trying to train Barry Rocky style. That's quite fun, and it does have quite a nice air to it. I mean, I will admit I'm not overly fond of it, but I think it's a good episode. Anyway, another kind of half one here is my next one up. My Name is Oliver Queen. The Arrow Season 3 finale. This one, once again, it's only very short, as the crossover only comes as Barry is called into Nanda Parbat to rescue the rest of Team Arrow from a dungeon in Nanda Parbat. Once again, its counterpart episode is further up my list, but I feel for a kind of small nugget, like, yeah, we could really use your help with this Starling City supervirus thing. Yeah, and I would, but I'm due for a long overdue conversation with Harrison Wells. Yeah. You know, it's quite short. I might leave a clip to it along with several others down below, but yeah. For a small nugget, just to kind of show it, it's good there. One step up from there is the Supergirl Season 1 crossover episode, World's Finest. While Supergirl at this point was still going on CBS, it seemed unlikely that they would cross over, but you know what? They did. They brought the Flash over, seemingly for one episode, and you know what? It works. Just seeing the two team up to go up against two kind of fairly big DC villains, Livewire and Silver Banshee. Just seeing our two heroes go up against these two villains, and even saving Cat Grant, it's just a joy. One step up from World's Finest is the Flash Series 3-episode duet. I mean, when you've got two actors as the lead in your show, Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin, both of whom used to be actors on Glee, you've got to get at least one musical episode out of it. And you know what? They did it well here. They brought in another kind of Glee character actor, Darren Criss, in to play the villain Music Meister. And you know what? It I just love all the songs in here, and I feel it's a pretty good episode. It's fun. Yeah, not really much more to say about it. It's fun. It's got some good songs in there, a good storyline, and I will admit the ending is rather sweet. Even when Darren Criss just comes out and goes, "Bravo, that was good. How did you get out of the cell? Do you really think that cell's just gonna hold me?" Yeah. So yeah, I think it's good. One step up from that, the Flash pilot. Once again, this is like My Name is Oliver Queen. It only really happens like for a few moments. But the point when Barry just goes over to Starling City to ask Oliver for advice, it's not like the Doctor Who class episode For Tonight We Might Die, where Oliver becomes a piece of Deus Ex Machina for the last few minutes. He's not there to help Barry out, he's just there to help Barry out of the situation. He's just there to give him a bit of advice. And you know what? It's good advice. I'm still saying, ultimately you have to do this your own way. You can... I'm not sure I'm like you. You can be better. You know what? That's a good point. One step up. As I said, Flash versus Arrow was towards the bottom for me. Its counterpart episode, it takes my third spot, which is The Brave and the Bold. While I wasn't sure that Flash vs. Arrow necessarily worked, this one for me does. As while Rainbow Raider was not a particularly interesting villain, Captain Boomerang certainly is. Just seeing the two teams of Team Arrow and Team Flash come together to face off against Captain Boomerang, it's just a fun episode. You also get to see Barry and Oliver interact some more, start away the chiseled exterior. And to be honest, their small kind of fight towards the end, that's more what I wanted from Flash vs. Arrow. Just a moment of them just going off to have a bit of fun and to see who would win. Yeah, that's fun. One step up from there is, as I said, I've got My Name is Oliver Queen down below. This is its pairing episode, Rogue Air. This, for me, was just the perfect moment of the Flash's first season. Why? Because towards the end of while the most of Rogue Air is kind of focusing on Captain Cold and the rest of it, you've got, towards the end of the episode, Barry going outside to meet with Eobard Thawne to face off against him. And then suddenly there's a boom behind him and Firestorm comes in. And then a sheath of an arrow and Oliver joins him. And what follows next is, I think, the most perfect 5 minutes you can imagine. Just three great characters going up against one sinister villain in an all-out brawl. You know what? Perfect. But, as I said, one place above Rogue Air, my personal favourite, Invasion. I mean, what works great with Invasion was that, while it's technically a crossover episode and all following one story, each episode keeps its own particular tone with the show it's going with. I mean, with the first part, the Flash episode, it still feels like a Flash episode, despite with all these characters. It still feels kind of upbeat and fun. With the Arrow episode, it feels kind of dark and gritty, and with the Legends episode, it just feels legitimately epic. Each show kept its particular tone and was able to produce an overarching story that I think was beautiful. Whether they'll top it this year with Crisis on Earth X, we'll have to wait and see. But there you go. There's my ranking of the crossover episodes from the Arrowverse. And here's to lots more to come, hopefully. See ya.